Hello, this is Gerald, two of us. I like a little bit of interaction with the members, and I had a question here from Makidu. Is it a real question? Is it a real person? Is it something that artificial intelligence provided as an extra attention of a question? I don't know. Even the question isn't 100% clear. How do I recognize, yes, vowels separately, or also maybe perhaps even within the usage of words? How do I recognize the vowels especially? I will give extra attention, not just about like how do we recognize it in the frequencies, because that's also written in my book, how you recognize these features and how they are there. So how do we recognize them orally also, that there are a or e or u? That's not what will talk about, but I will talk about these five basic vowels. Actually, how do we recognize them and how do you use them as words within words, and why do we use these letters as foundations? They are quite basic foundations of orientations. And so you have the a, the e, the i, o, the u. Let's go and start with a. I have a figure with a couple of choices with even the sun and an object nearby, a little further away, some attachments and also details from this figure. Where does it meet the conditions that you can use a for it to pinpoint something here in this image? And what we know is a basically is about centering my frame. So there are always three parts in an orientation. It's the frame, it's the direction, and it's the when you need it. It's in the first 9 letters. It is so when you need it, you need a point of reference, which is most clear in one of the first 9 letters. So in a and u, this point of reference is also important. And in a, it is a centered point of attention within my frame of vision. So let's use a frame and use that and see if I can use that as a centered frame. I use them to all the objects. Can I use them as a? Yes, I can use them as to name these positions as where I see a thing, I see an object, I see a. But it's not really perfect for all of these situations, because there's another condition sorry, which says actually that I will be able to continue to use a for that object. And is that the case with all these references? No, it's not the case. Continuing to use a continuously as a real foundation in reasoning and so on, and continue to do so from that center point of vision is not possible in these things, because we also need this third element, and this third element is the horizontal line. It's the stability of usage. It's our starting point, but we want to use it constantly as a starting point in a stable way. So without any changes or adaptations. No, just straightforward. Where is that the case? There are not so many parts that are so really perfect as for these conditions, because the object there that is a bit further away, you have to go there first. You have to move first. You have to do something first to be sure that you can use it. There are certain conditions which are more for O, actually. The sun as well, we will not be able to go forward. It's moving in a different way. The ball on top here, it's on the foundation of the earth. You can use the forwardness there, even if you can do other things with the ball and make it jump or whatever. it's there is a certain stability there, which makes it predictable. You can use it into a direction if you want, but you have a foundation as a starting point. Yeah, in the eye, yeah, it is possible, but it is questionable. Maybe you can do other things with it, so it's not that it's the only option. The hair dot of or the hat or whatever is possible, but yeah, can you use it all the time at that point when it's a hat? Yes, I can keep it there, and I will. Even if I move and so on, it will be there, and it's not dependent on movement and so on. So I have a certain stability. So yes, that's possible, for instance. But the sun, of course, it will go into the environment, to another place, and so on. It moves away. That's not suitable for a. So even we have solar, where you have the o, then the environment, and the a is then the object within that environment, which you can keep, of course, to describe what you are doing there. But it's not, the foundation is not a. So let's go to the eye then. The eye, okay, I have the a for the eye, or the ear. You have that there as well. Is that there is an a written there, but it is combined. It is. You can also use it, say like, okay, but it's from one of two parts, or it goes to somewhere else. So other letters are suitable there as well. So let's go to, at least we're only sure with a about two objects. It's the ball and the hat, actually, because there's a certain stability. All the rest, you need more descriptions. You need more conditions. You have to move to somewhere. It's moving, or I use it in various ways, and yeah, that's not enough to make a stable foundation with a. The second letter is e, that we can have. What kind of letters are used for e? We are all the positions that we have, that we are left over, the one which is further away, even the sun which is further away, the object which is further away, or the belly here, for instance, which is part of an organization of different ways, of different levels, different positions. These differences can be defined with that vertical, and they say like, okay, yeah, I have to move there, so I see differences. I see these differences and I use that moving there. I use that defining these differences and so on, and all these differences are then defined via these differences are defined with in a way. It's very basic now. What I'm saying is a lot more going on here, but it's just to make you aware how you can use a and where you can use e. And so you really need that direction or change. There is progress, there's change, there's movement there. So even with a certain length, you have an e as well. It is differences that you have there, and that makes the definition for e, not for a. The u then, you have sometimes as well. It's when you also want to use a starting point, like in the eyes, for instance, or in the ears. You can say like, okay, but it's just one of two, or I can follow this part. Like in the sun, you have that as well. I can follow. In the sun, you also have this a certain part, and we know it's just a part, and it moves somewhere else. It's defined by the conditions of changes, but of incomplete changes. So we know it's incomplete there. So there's another. It completes itself over time. It completes itself in material. It completes itself in any different way. Doesn't matter how. Is very good foundation for u. See, the eye is also making a new starting point, like you have it too, but it's a starting point from two options actually. So you have two options. It can be there, well, it can also be there. It can be it's changeable, but you have a condition that you have, okay, I will use it as a starting point, but that's a relative starting point, like in oo. The oh, that's where you really have to go and see, okay, this is about movement, it's go, or we have to move to somewhere, it's within our environment already, away from us. That's where you need the oh. And the E, the last one, is really when you insert something completely new, which didn't was maybe needed at some point, but it was not necessary to be in the first foundation. But you can add it, like you have, for instance, you have an earring ring immediately added, or a star somewhere, or points that are reflected or highlighted, and so on. That's the E. It goes. You have this extra thing there, with an extra feedback as well, because you have an extra idea. You have you know something extra that you can add there. That's more like E. And this video was just a small reminder that we can recognize the letters, and we can associate the letters well when we understand them. And it was a small review of these vowels. Okay, so I hope this was made it a little bit more clear. There are more videos about that, but okay, I thought I had this kind of request. If it was from a real person or not, I'm not even sure anymore. In this world, it's a strange world at this point, where even computer programs they are inserted with reactions, how you have to behave, how you have to change, and it's all changing before you even have to deal with, with automated elements that needs your reaction or counter reaction. It's a bit strange, I think, compared to the world of 5 years ago. But anyhow, this was a contribution to that question, if it was one, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks again for watching. Bye.